Good morning. I'm back. So it's back to business as usual. I had a lovely vacation. We're talking about relationships. In my book, Relationship Sink or Swim, I discuss all kinds of relationships, everything from the relationship with your pets, your friends, your siblings, your children, your parents, people you sit next to on a plane, your Uber driver, all of that. Because for a brief period of time, when you're sitting next to somebody on a flight or you're in an Uber with somebody, for that brief period of time, you have a micro relationship with them. And they can influence your life or you can influence theirs. Now, with any relationship, one of three things will happen. You will grow together, a friendship may form, or if you're a couple, your relationship will just grow deeper and stronger. So you grow together. You grow stagnant, you get bored, or you grow apart, finding you have different interests and you just have different goals in life than you used to. Any relationship will go through this. Guaranteed. So it's how do you want to handle that is what it boils down to. If you're dating someone and everything is wonderful and beautiful in the beginning, as it always is, so you're growing closer together, you're growing together. And then there may come a time that you start getting bored. That person, isn't really what they said they were. They weren't. Many people put up a facade when you first start dating them for like the first 3 months or something. And then you start seeing them for who or what they truly are. And it's like, ooh, okay, let's reevaluate this. That's when you have to start making decisions. You get bored. Things get stagnant. You may want to go out to dinner. They want to sit home and watch the game and never go anywhere or do anything. That's a problem. What are you going to do about it? Some couples, married couples more than any, and even siblings for that matter, family members, they grow apart. You grow. We are all continually growing and evolving. And you will find out couples, get married sometimes relatively young, out of college or out of high school, and everything's great. And then the kids start school and mom has more time on her hands, or whoever's staying home with the kids has more time on their hands. Kids go away to college, and then there's empty nest syndrome, and what used to be a full house is now just you and your spouse. And it's not the same person it was 20 years ago, 25 years ago. And you look at each other, you really don't know each other anymore. Because one is more involved with the kids, possibly the other is more involved with work, or maybe you just devoted your entire, family life around the kids, which is wonderful, but they're gone now. And it's like, oh, okay. And you just stare at each other, and there's a lot of silence, a lot of awkward silence, because you don't know what to say, think, or do with each other. Very common. What are you going to do with that? Siblings. Just because you grew up together and at one point in time you were very, very close, that does not mean you will always stay close. As you grow up, your interests go different directions. I have siblings. We are nothing alike. We have absolutely nothing in common. It's just we're all individuals. We don't share similar interests. We don't share anything. And that's fine. We don't wish each other any harm or ill will. It's just everybody has their own life and God bless. And that's okay. That's fine. It's not that abnormal, especially once both parents are gone. A lot of times, if, mom's still alive and everybody gathers around for the holidays and for Mother's Day, or, if dad's still alive, it's for Father's Day, and you do what you can. And then when they're gone, it's just like, okay, well, game over. Nice to have met you. Wish you well with your life. Bye. Because that's it. You don't have anything in common with them. And many times, believe it or not, people don't want the relationship to continue. It's like, okay, I put up with you this long, bye. And that's okay too. It is what it is. But for any relationship to survive, both parties have to be genuinely interested, invested, and willing to work at it. Both, not just one. You both have to do the work. You know, I've used an analogy that in a relationship is like two oxen pulling a yoke. There's going to be, you know, they're tied together and they're working a field, and that's great. And there's, you know, days one's going to pull a little bit harder than the other. One may not feel the best, and one's doing a little bit more of the work. And there's going to be days they're both pulling 100%. And that's okay because they're together. They have the same goal. They're working together for the same goal. That will survive. So if you're working together with your significant other, your spouse, whomever, and you're trying to make it work, you're both genuinely trying, genuinely interested, that's pretty good. You hang in there. That's great. If you find it's stagnant and you're bored, if you are in a relationship, a committed relationship, and you find out it's stagnant, you're bored, you're just checking out, sit down and have the grown-up conversation. Don't cheat. Don't start flirting. Don't start all the, you know, the online nonsense. Don't. Somebody will be hurt. Hopefully not physically, but somebody's feelings are going to be hurt. Sit down and have the grown-up conversation, please, and say, look, I think we have a problem. Sit down at a table, open, honest communication, without judgment, without anger, without name-calling. We have a problem. I'm bored. You know, I really want this to work. You used to like to do da-da-da-da-da. What can I do to help? Do you still want to be in this relationship? A lot of times, you know, both people aren't happy and somebody's just afraid to say something. Ask. All you have to do is ask. Do you want to remain in this relationship? Would it be better if we were just friends? That happens. I know a lot of couples who have been married for many years. They end the marriage, but they're still best friends. And that's great because you're always going to co-parent. You're always going to be co-parents. So if it's time to end, end. If you find yourself going separate directions, you're just glorified roommates, have the hard conversation. Sit down, talk. Be honest, be open. No name calling, no anger. And just say, you know, have you noticed we just have nothing anymore? I'm busy doing this and you're busy doing that. And, you know, we may or may not have dinner together and we just kind of check in with each other. We're roommates. And I want more than that, or I deserve more than that, because you do deserve more than that. You do what works best for both of you. You think about it, talk about it, and make a decision. You have to live your life. You cannot live your life for someone else. You have to live your life for you. You have to be happy. You deserve to be happy. You know, if you've always wanted to go back to school and the kids are out of the house now and the finances are there for this, sit down and talk about it. Say, hey, I really want to go back to school. I want to finish my degree. I want to get a new degree. I want to pursue these interests or these hobbies. You deserve to be happy. But you have to have open, honest, non-judgmental communication. You're there to come to a resolution, a meeting of the minds, to figure out what the next step is going to be. Counseling is wonderful. If both of you want to do it, it has to be a two-way street, because a marriage is a partnership. One person should not be the ruler. It doesn't work like that. Now, there are some very conventional relationships that's the structure and that's the culture and that's what they want, and that's fine. But it's a partnership. It is a partnership. And it has to be respected as a partnership, valued as a partnership, and treated as a partnership. Sit back, look at your relationships. If a relationship just isn't what it used to be, I don't care if it's your best friend, a coworker, a family member. You don't have to stay in that relationship just because you think you have to stay in that relationship. You don't. You can still be cordial and be nice and just step away because it's not for you. Sometimes friends will go in different directions and they'll get involved in things you don't really agree with. You don't support that. You can still be nice and kind, but just step away and just tell them if they say anything, I'm just not in that. I'm just not there. But you do what you feel is best for you, but I have to do what's best for me. A friend will understand that. And it's okay. You have to take care of you. This is all part of self-care. I just came back from an amazing weekend with friends. People I have known for 50 years. I was the kid sister in the group. And so for over 50 years, because many of these have known each other through childhood, they've remained friends. Those bonds are there. They all work at it. They make a point of getting together for dinners and barbecues and luncheons or whatever. They call each other. They stay in touch. They make sure that everybody knows, I care about you. I love you. I'm here for you. They put in the effort. And that's why those friendships have lasted over 50 years. That's why my friendship with them has lasted. We stay in touch. We talk. We text. We call. If you want it to work, you both have to put in the effort. And if you don't, step away. No harm, no foul. It's all part of self-care.